Gabi sa Counterpoint, aalamin natin ang kwento sa likod ng mga kontrobersya. Kikilalanin natin ang mga interesanteng personalidad at alamin natin ang mga paninindigan ng bawat panauhin. Lilinawin natin ang mga isyu na mahalaga sa lipunan. Ako po si Salvador Panelo at ito ang Counterpoint. Ang bawat pagkain, tulad ng tao, ay may kasaysayan. May kwento na karugtong ng isang kultura o tradisyon. Sa Pilipinas, nakakabit na sa kultura ng mga Pilipino sa pagkahilig sa pagkain na naiimpluwensya ng iba't ibang dayuhan na nanakop sa bansa tulad ng mga Kastila at ng mga Amerikano. Nandyan din ang impluwensya ng mga karatig bansa tulad ng China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, India at iba pang bansa sa Asia. Kaya naman, sa bawat kainan, kasama ang pamilya, masarap pagsaluhan ang kwento ng kasaysayan ng ating pagkain. Ngayong gabi, makakasama natin ang artist, writer, at restaurateur, Chef Cloud Tayak sa pagbabalik ng Counterpoint.
Kwentuhang makaka-relate kay you.
Menopause. Meron ka bang nararamdaman ng mga signs ng menopause?
Menopause really happens. In my case, I had a condition called endometriosis.
Miss Corina, ganda po ng hair nyo. Ano pong shampoo nyo?
Mapa-senior man kay you.
My apos are here, they're here with me and they give me such joy. And so, kung hindi ako magtatrabaho, how could I spoil them?
O Gen Z,
Nar is actually an accent from Australia. So like when you say no, you don't say no. They say nar.
bida kayo dito. Sumay!
Let's just always choose to be kind.
Kaya ugaliin ang tumutok kung saan masaya at maganda ang simula ng araw. 10 a.m. to 12, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, kada umaga.
Let's get together, Sunday 25, Sunday 25.
Hello?
Merong gustong sumira sa reputasyon nating dalawa, Hejun.
Sino yun?
Habang kumakalat ang mga bali-balita tungkol kina Hejun at Janice.
Gusto ni director ko si Miss Hana. Sigurado ako dun.
Totoo bang meron kayong relasyon ni Janice?
Paano kung meron? Anong gagawin niyo?
Kailangan ng pumili ni Hejun.
Hindi ko na kayang gawin pa to, Sarah.
Anong ibig mong sabihin? Hindi! Huwag mong tanggalin!
Gracious Revenge. Gabi-gabi, 8 p.m. dito lang sa Net25.
Let's get together, Sunday 25.
Matapang, mapagkakatiwalaan, may paninindigan. Siya ang bago nating mata sa mga issue at may init na mga balita. Makakasama na natin ngayong Marso sa Mata ng Agila Prime Time.
Matatag ang paninindigan. Matapang sa pagresponde. Matapat sa paglilingkod. Batikang tagapagbalita. Mata natin sa balitaan. Alex Santos kasama gabi-gabi sa Mata ng Agila Primetime.
Hindi na natin patatagalin ang ating pagsaluhan ang kwento ng isang well-renowned artist, best-selling author, and award-winning chef. Let's welcome Chef Cloud Tayag.
Attorney Sal, maraming po salamat for having me as a guest
Aba,
in your show.
Kami ang dapat magpasalamat sa iyo at pagbigay ka ng panahon na makarating ka sa amin.
Yeah.
Meron nagbumulong sa akin, sabi niya si Cloud, ayaw tawagin niya ng Renaissance man. Ayaw mo nga ba?
Well, not really, kasi parang siguro, I guess, maybe for a lack of better term, yun ang sinasabi na Renaissance man, but what does it really mean? Kasi, you know, I've heard, like, I was a guest speaker in a fine arts school of UP. One of the students asked me, Mr. Tayag, I'm kind of confused what you actually do. Oh. You are a sculptor, you're a painter, you're a writer, you're a cook. Cook, sabi ko. I'm a chef. Hindi ako chef. Kusinero lang po ako. Because I did not study that. But then, ang kwan ko is like, I do all of this. Yeah. You may be confused, but I am not. So I guess that's the term that they use for a Renaissance man, meaning, you know, you try to, I mean, as an artist, what is there to limit you from doing all these things that, you know, you get an inspiration, that you do something, but ang point ko naman, para bang linguist, you can talk in different languages, and these languages, they have their own vocabulary. So be it sculpture, the cooking, iba lang yung medium, no? It could be the carrots, the ano, tapos yung paintings, the color, and the paper. So again, ganon ang aking kuan. Well, okay, sige, payag na ako, Renaissance man.
Hindi, dapat pala. Dahil may mastery ka dun sa mga sinabi mo. Dapat you're a master of all.
Master of all, and then, yeah, master of all. That's right.
Okay. Anyway, pwede bang sabihin mo sa amin yung ano bang, kasi sabi mo kanina, sculpture, diba?
Yes.
Paano ka umakyat dun sa culinary?
Culinary, let's put it this way. You have to know my background as a person. Para bang I'm born and bred in Angeles City. You know, Pampanga ako, Kapampangan. Both my parents are Kapampangan. And the thing is, everybody cooks in my family. So even back in high school, I was doing my own dinner. And then when I was in UP Diliman, my classmates on long weekends, kakantsawin nila, Cloud, papunta kami Baguio, daan kami sa inyo, pagluto mo kami. Even back then, pabili lang ako ng tosino, paggawa ko ng buro at hipon, hito at saka hipon at saka ano pa, tosino, sisig. Para sa kanila, gourmet food na, no? Sa amin, pang araw-araw lang pagkain na yon. So, in my circle of friends, they knew me as the cooking person. So, even when after graduating from UP, nandito na ako sa Manila, my group of friends again were the foodies at that time. Sina Larry Cruz, Nancy Reyes ng Aristocrat, many others, all food-related businesses. And then we would meet up once a week to try a new restaurant or cook in somebody's house. And I was always the designated cook. And then, 1989, Larry invited me.
Larry who?
Larry Cruz, LJC, the LJC group of restaurants, invited me to guest cook in one of his restaurants, Anghang, sa may Makati ito. He called it Art Walks. And the thing was, I interpreted my paintings into edible art. So in a way, pabaliktad. And don't they call cooking culinary arts in the first place? So again, I discovered then cooking is another form of expression. And formally, they call it culinary arts. I just did not study it. Kaya nga, jack of all trades, master of all. So, ganun, 1989 yun. I was already established as a painter at that time. So, again, para bang another extension of what I do, what I can do. Sinabi ko nga dun sa estudyante na yun, do not limit yourself of what society tells who you are by that piece of paper. Nag-graduate ka, ganun na. But you're not that one. You follow your passion.
Pero you started as a sculptor.
I started as a painter.
As a painter pala?
Yes, 1978, I had my first one-man show of painting. Again, ang kun ko talaga, recurring theme would be Pinoy, Filipino.
As a painter ba, classical ka ba? O
No, they're more like, well, not classical in the sense, they're figurative. And then I went to abstract also. So,
Tapos nag-sculpture ka na after?
And then sculpture along the way, yeah.
And then, after that,
the sculpture, and then the writing came up, and then the food, and then, kung tutuusin, mas kilala nga ako ngayon as the chef, no?
Oo nga.
The thing is, cooking, or even the restaurant discovering, it has become another popular art, I mean, part of our pop culture, following the chefs. Para bang ganun. Kaya ako nakikilala ng mga kabataan as the chef. But I guess I earned my title as a chef from guesting in a series of restaurants and hotels.
Now you're known to prepare dishes na nag-i-embody ang Filipino culture.
Yes,
and history.
yes.
Tell us about it.
Para sa akin, in my interest and passion for the different regional Philippine cuisines, this is for me the key word. There is no such thing as a Filipino cuisine.
Okay.
It's our archipelago, the culture, the traditions, the customs of the different regions in the Philippines is so vast and so varied. No, the diversity of our cuisine that speaks for it. And for me, it's the having traveled all over the Philippines and documented each region. So this is the result of that. This is the Linamnam book. It's a culinary mapping of every region in the Philippines.
When was that published?
2011. It came out in 2011. It took me me and my wife 5 years traveling across the archipelago, literally. And from what I've discovered, each region has their own different, you can say, characteristic of their food.
Okay.
So, ang kun ko is this is like representing what Filipino cuisine is in general would be the best of its region. So, hindi lang natin of course, nowadays, sisig from Pampanga, bulalo from Batangas, pakbet from Ilocos, and the bagnet, and the vegan longanisa. I'm nakikilala. And
So
then
Bicol.
Bicol, of course, there's the lying, the emblematic lying, and the, what do you call that? Pinangat.
Pinangat.
So, yun ang kanila, yung everything with gata and
Mga
sili.
Tagalog, known for what ba?
Tagalog, wala. And then, well, Bistek Tagalog, that's, I mean, if you're after the name, I mean, where it was invented.
Gaano ba kahalaga ang food, ang pagkain sa kultura ng Pilipinas?
Kahalagang food. I think
important
food is the center of our universe, literally. Like they say...
Mahilig tayong kumain.
Yeah, mahilig
Ang Pilipino.
hindi lang sa mahilig kumain, at saka kumakain tayong maghapon para bang,
Matakaw pala tayo.
Hindi sa matakaw, I would just call it mahilig.
Mahilig.
Then, yeah, I mean, that's the polite term, mahilig. Yung, snacking all day.
Palagi nag-i-snack.
Yeah, pwede rin may kropik lang, or butong pakwan lang, or yung, ano tawag dito, yung cornix.
Constant eating tayo.
Yeah, constant eating. Even in offices, maniwala ka. You see, punta ka naman government offices, nag-snacking siya, tapos at the same time attending to the customer. So, ganun tayo talaga. I mean, food and our expression. Meeting a stranger, no? If you see somebody, if you come across somebody eating their lunch, hindi mo man kilala, be it a laborer on the street, kumakain siyang ganon, mapadaan ka, then may eye contact, kain po, ang ganon. Di ba ganon tayo? It's the food, it's our inherent in us of like sharing whatever we have.
Di ba, may traditional way of cooking. Pero several decades ago, medyo nababago. Nagkakaroon ng mga instant. Instant noodles.
Oh yeah, of course.
Cooking.
Hindi mo maiwasan yan, especially in an urban setting. people have no time to do what they call the slow movement, not slow cooking, no? Like the mga instant. Well, it's good. Ang kon ko lang doon, just don't forget the fresh. I mean, what they call the living ingredients, meaning
Sariwa.
Sariwa, exactly. So, kunyari, gagawa ka ng sinigang, of course, be it sinigang na baboy or isda, whatever, huwag mong kalimutan, katapos lalagyan mo nga ng instant powder mix, lagyan mo lang ng kamatis yan, additional kamatis. At saka meron kang kangkong, meron kang labanos. I mean,
Nilalagyan ko nga ng sibuyas sa kabawang di pa sarap.
Mas masarap nga, exactly. But with the price of sibuyas nowadays, again, that's a political, and it could be a controversial issue, another talking point. But lagyan mo nga ng something fresh. You supplement adding all these living ingredients.
Ano ba yung sa'yo healthiest cuisine?
Healthiest cuisine in the Philippines?
Yeah.
In the world?
Sa Pilipinas muna.
Pilipinas, wala. Meron. Yung actually, hindi sa special...
Gulay.
Gulay na healthiest cuisine as per region, there's none. Meaning, marami tayong dishes. Every region would have their dishes that are healthy or that are literally sinfully bad, but they're good. Like mga bagnet nila, mga ano. But if you go by the healthy so-called diet of the Ilocanos,
Saluyot.
Exactly. Or their pakbit, their tradition of pakbit, yung favorite dish ni FM, inabraw, basically it's just boiled vegetables and nothing else. Maybe sasawsaw pa yun ng bagong isda.
Tatay ko, saluyot.
Ilocano. Because it's after the bitter taste, di ba? Yun ang sinasabi ko about our regionality. In general, we talk of Philippine cuisine as like the combination, as a symphony of subtle, sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. So every region nangingibabaw yung different notes na yon. Mas maalat in one region, mas matamis in another region. Ang Ilocano lang ang meron yung pait nandun. Why?
Sa mga survey, parang ang Pilipinas palaging nasa listahan ng
Best. Yes, lumalabas. Recently.
Bakit?
Recently. Bakit?
Dahil hindi masarap yung kanila, mas masarap yung atin.
Hindi nga, lumabas nga yung sinigang is the best like soup in the world, no? Vegetable
really?
soup. Nakalagay, yes. Tapos lumalabas ngayon, but the thing is, ganito. Why? I get, this is just like my opinion, no? It's like, number one, all Filipino, everywhere in the world, every corner of the world, there will be Filipinos, Filipino communities, and each one of them would bring their cooking back home, no? Yung panlasa nila, yung kanilang traditional food. So, what I'm saying now, it's like, they are our frontliners in promoting our cuisine. Bino mo, bawat household na lang yun, bawat trabahador doon, mag-iimbitan ng foreigner, or napakasawa na nga, foreigner na nga. So, the thing is, nakikilala na yung ating nagiging main. In the US, since Anthony Bourdain introduced sisig in 2008, it has become the mainstream American one. They know more of sisig than adobo.
You mentioned that name, Anthony Bourdain.
Yes.
Sino ba siya?
Well, siya yung the late American TV host and book author. So, he came to interview me in 2008, and I brought him to the sisigan, and then I cooked some dishes for him at home in Baledutong, and then also to the kambingan. So he just loved our food. And then he wrote in his blog, and then when he came back here, like several years later, just a year before he died, I got to interview him na baliktad naman.
Opposite.
Yeah. So for him, sabi niya, the breakaway or it was the sisig that catapulted Philippine cuisine into international fame, no? Nandun na tayo ngayon. I mean, nag-take off na since 2008 yun. Anong year na tayo ngayon? So the thing is, from that time on to now, talagang nakikilala na yung... Kasi dati kulela tayo in terms of international attention, no? Yung Filipino kusinda. Kasi lang, I guess, for me, it's just lack of information. It's their ignorance. I mean, it's their loss. They did not know about us. At saka, kulang lang ng marketing. But the thing now, dyan na. New York Times wrote about sisig also. Ang sinabi is the best pork dish in the world.
Now,
Yeah.
sa Pilipino, may kanya-kanya tayong bawat region, di ba?
Yes.
Pero may mga influences din ng mga ibang bansa sa atin. China,
Oh yes, marami.
di ba? Spanish, American,
Yeah.
India. Anong masasabi mo doon? At saka ano ba itong mga influences nito?
Okay, so ganito na lang. You can say a nation's cuisine is a sum total of our history.
Okay.
From the indigenous, ito yung mga Malays, no? Yan yung mga katutubo talaga dito. Hindi yung katutubo, iba pa yung mga, what do you call them, the indigenous people, the IP. That one, and then the majority of the now will be the Malays, the Cebuanos sila, Ilonggo sila, Kapampangan, Tagalog. So whatever food they had from their surrounding, that they were able to gather from their surrounding. And then, from trade, the Chinese came here like 12th century, 13th century, nandito na, nagte-trade. So, dinadala yung kanilang pagkain and one must note also, these Chinese traders, they, in a way, assimilated with the locals. They married a native woman, set up a shop for her, tending the shop, and then at the same time, dinala nila yung kanilang noodle tradition, pansit, naging pansit sa atin, tapos lahat ng pagluluto ng, ang tawag dito, yung ginigisa, sa kanila yun. So again, introduction of a new cooking technique.
Tayo ba, sumasama dyan? Kasi napapanood ko may mga contest, cooking. Parang wala akong nakikita ng Pilipino. Hindi ba tayo sumasama doon?
Well, I don't want to raise my own bangko. I was part of the gastro diplomacy of the DOT and all that. 2016, the Philippine Embassy in the US, it's in DC, invited me to participate in this culinary competition called Embassy Chef's Challenge. Of the 26 entries, I won for the Philippines. That dish I call bringhe. No, we call bringhe. Bringhe is a rice, traditional rice dish made out of malagkit rice, the sticky rice, coconut cream, and chicken broth. So, ganun yung aking twist nun. So, it won the that year, and it was the first time that the Philippines participated in that competition and won.
Ano ba ang relasyon ng food sa arts? Meron ba? Can you correlate them?
Oh yeah, sure. I just did correlated.
Kanina,
I mean, interpreting my paintings into edible art. I know for a fact, like for example, Salvador Dali came up with a cookbook with his drawings, and then the food is there and all that. And pag sinabi mo kasing art, ang culinary, and in terms of food, the mindset of an artist or the chef who creates the dish, it's like this. So you have all this ingredients. So how do I cook it? And then after cooking, how do I plate it? Doon na yun, yung arte na pinabrush. Ngayon nowadays, binabrush-brush pa yung plate before putting the tapos may tweezer pa yung gaganon-ganon yung mga ingredients, mga, you can say, the presentation. Doon ang labanan ngayon. And this was like what, the past 10 years? Minsan, for me naman, parang kind of overbearing na nakakalimutan na yung lasa. Ang kwan ko kasi, ang aking my own way of cooking and my food preference is really to cook real food.
Okay.
Meaning, kung baboy siya. Kung gulay. Meaning, I will not try to mask it with all these spices or even, kasi merong mga, these are trends, cooking trends.
Meron ka daw nga pala, nakalimutan kong tanongin kanina. Meron ka daw tula sa adobo.
Yes, sa adobo.
Bigyan mo nga kami ng sample dyan. Kasi gusto kitang pakantayin, pero tula na lang.
Tutulayin ko na lang. Hindi, actually, it's not my tula. It was written by our national artist for literature,
Sino?
Rio Alma. Virgilio Almario. I requested him, I asked him, can you make a can you make an adobo poem to include in my book? No? And then he readily agreed, and then he when he came and ate in Baledutong, meron akong sorpresa sa iyo bukas, sabi niya. So he handed me this typewriter. It's just a 4-line stanza.
Sige nga.
Okay. Dalit sa adobo. Hymn to adobo. So, dalit sa adobo. Ay, ang adobo ni Inang, pantagulan, pantag-araw. Parang pusong nagmamahal. Mas masarap pag nagtagal. O, di ba? Ganun ang adobo. The more you reheat it, mas sumasarap. Kaya may joke nga kami na, nagluto ka na naman. Anong ulam natin? Pangat. Ano? Pangat na naman. Kasi pangatlong araw na, yun pa rin ang ulam mo. Lalo kasing sumasarap pag gano'n, hindi tayo nagsasawa.
Mukhang sumarap ang ating... Parang pagkain, sumarap yung usapan natin. Parang pagkain. Makakasama po natin ngayon si Cloud Tayag pagdating naman sa personal niyang buhay. Maya-maya.
Gusto ka, happy ka.
The living legend, the one and only Juan Ponce Enriquez in the house!
Alam mo, sinabi mo 100, inaisip ko gurang na pala ako. I went through a timeline of a century. At the age of 6, I was already a fisherman. I was so angry, but I could not do anything. I was powerless.
Dahil sa babae, munti kayong mapatay. You were tortured by the Japanese.
Sometimes I dream about it. Those things will not leave you. Sampal. Paano na los por los?
Ano po ang inyong opinyon na nakabalik po talaga sa pwesto ang mga Marcos?
Many of the things said about Marcos were not true. I am willing to debate with anybody. Tell me the time and place, and I'll take you on.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
You do not have to learn these things from books. You learn it by experience. Just remember my name and you spell it well.
Juan Ponce Enriquez, happy birthday to you. Kayang-kaya pa.
Let's get together. Sunday 25. Sunday 25.
Dear Bosley, ako po si Biboy at isa po akong nurse.
Ano ginagawa mo dyan? Wala po ako makita! Dok? Agalay! Agalay! Agalay ko!
So, hindi ka takot sa kahit na ano?
No. Mommy, look!
Oo.
Love, Bosleng, and Tali. Tuwing linggo, 6:00 ng gabi dito lang sa Net 25.
Let's get together. Sunday 25.
Mga problemang may kinalaman sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay.
Ano sa palagay niyo?
Katiwalian at korupsyon sa kung saan-saan.
Ano sa palagay niyo?
Kalusugan.
Ano sa palagay niyo?
Edukasyon.
Ano sa palagay niyo?
Hanap buhay.
Ano sa palagay niyo?
Ang daming issue. Samahan ninyo sina Ali Soto at Bat P. Daza sa pagbusisi sa lahat ng yan at iba pa. Ano sa palagay nyo? Year 3 na!
Let's get together. Sunday 25. Sunday 25.
Nakikilalanin po natin ngayon si Chef Cloud Tayag. Hindi lang chef ito master nga master of all ito Ang tungkol naman sa kanyang personal na buhay. Ako, kilala ko po ang pamilya nila. Unang-una, alam ko, ang father nito, si Renato Tayag, si Katox Tayag, kaibigan, isa sa mga malalapit na kaibigan ng Presidente Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Di ba?
Yes.
And alam ko rin, kagaya ko, 12 po silang magkakapatid, kami 12 din.
Talaga?
Oo, kami.
Pag-ilan ka?
8 lalaki, pang-8 ko, 4 na babae. Nakilala ko yung asawa mo, si Susan, di ba?
Hindi, si Marian. Kilala mo yung naka-kuan. O baka ibang
si
asawa yan. Susan, hindi ko, anak ko.
Hindi ba? Akala ko Susan talaga.
Isa lang yung asawa ko, Mary Ann.
Ano pangalan niya?
Mary Ann.
Pareho lang naman ang tunog.
Mary Ann, Susan,
di ba?
Same.
Hindi naman ako magsusumbong eh. Anyway,
Sige ka.
tell us about your parents nga pala. Anong influence bang nakuha mo? Kasi sinabi mo lahat kayo marunong magluto.
Yes.
Ang nanay mo ba magaling magluto?
Oh yeah, I mean, kilalang-kilala yan sa Angeles pag sinabing luto ni Mang During. Her name is Adoracion Suarez. And her nickname is During. So, Imang During ang tawag sa
Kaya
kanya.
pala may sister kang Doreen.
Doren naman.
Doren.
Yeah. Adoracion Junior siya. Yes, exactly. So, when we were small, growing up in that house, kaming lower 6, no? The younger batch. Kasi kaming naiwan kay Ima. And then, the rest, the 1 to 6, sina Lito up to Jerry, they were all in UP. And remember, Lito and Mario, law. So that means they were away for 8 years, 8 continuous years. Tapos noon, nag-asawa na sila. They really didn't grow up, meaning grow up with us.
Sila Abong.
Sina Abong married and settled in Angeles. And Meng. But si Lito and Mario, after law, nag-bar, tapos nag-asawa na sa Manila. So they only come home often like birthday ni Ima, ni Tatang, ganun. So all that. So we were, in a way, you can say, trained by our mother unwittingly by telling us, if you want something, you do it yourself. No? Busy ako or yung kusinero na kung ayaw mo yung pagkain dyan, ikaw ang gagawa.
Talaga mahilig ka na magluto? Nung bata ka
even
pa?
in high school, I was cooking my own dinners, especially pag ayaw ko yung inulit yung lunch.
Okay.
So gagawin ko niya,
Gumagawa
example
ka
na lang to. Nilagang manok.
Okay.
From the chicken parts, pwede kong sisred, gagawin kong chicken sandwich. And that's fine. Nasa high school kid, di ba? Tapos noon, or gagawa ko ng pancit canton. Nung araw, wala pang instant noodles na ganon. So, pancit canton, again, the chicken and then the nilagang sabaw. Lalagay yung panluto mo. Wala nang gisa-gisa, tapos yung mga gulay, you have an instant pancit canton. So, ganun ako until yung lahat kami marunong, no? And I think for me, that's a very important lesson in life. You teach your child to be self-reliant in anything. Do that. And you want something, you work for it. Ganun yung lesson naman. Sa tatay naman namin, since he was a writer, ang kanyang, what he imparted in us, the love of books and the love of travel. And good food, of course. Sinasama na kami nung kumain sa labas and early in our high school hanggang college. So, ganun yung...
Ano ba relaxation mo other than magluto?
Hindi ko relaxation ng luto. Hindi naman ako nag-araw-araw. Trabaho yun.
Trabaho pala sa'yo?
No. Ang pagluluto, araw-araw. I mean, I have to you can say, define the cooking part and the creative part. Okay? So, yung relaxation sa akin, actually, cooking initially was like a form of relaxation with me. Lalo na pag...
See, you enjoy it, eh?
I enjoy it. Actually, everything that I do, whether painting, writing, the sculpture, is basically the designing part, no? It's all relaxation because for me, if you consider this as work or your profession, but if you enjoy something, and then it pays off.
Marami ka ng achievements. Ikaw ba, mayroon pang gustong ma-reach?
Ma-reach? Meron, I have this...
what is this?
To use the expression from Miss Saigon, it's like I have this movie in my mind.
Okay. What is it?
A Kapampangan food movie. You know, in the tradition of like Water for Chocolate or Babette's Fish or even Tampopo. But ang setting niya in Pampanga and serving Kapampangan food. And this will be a culmination of everything that I do. As an artist, as a cook, as a writer, historical food history. At the same time, yung visual as a food stylist.
Okay.
So, that's my dream.
Anyway, babalik po ang Counterpoint pagkatapos ng ilang patalastas.
Filipinos are great marketers. Our range is limitless, from gigantic corporations to the everyday street vendor. We Filipinos are able to find a way to make our products and services interesting. That is despite economic obstacles, lack of resources, and minimal connections. The drive to grow the business is always strong and going forward.
Open for Business takes you to the 42nd Agora Awards, celebrating Filipino marketing excellence, spearheaded by the Philippine Marketing Association, with the theme Speckles, celebrating outstanding uniqueness in Philippine marketing.
Together, we will speak with industry leaders, award-winning marketers, and the rising stars in businesses.
Open for Business with Cesar Vallejos, Sunday, 9 p.m.
Sunday 25.
Pasiglahin ang araw ng linggo. Kayo'y maaantig.
Huwag mo ubusin ang luha mo sa wala dito.
Mapapaisip.
What are we gonna do?
Matatawa.
Why so much food? Even no money, no honey, we make utang-utang.
Mapapahanga. At mapapainda. Kasama si The King, ang nag-iisang comedy king Dolphy.
Ano pangalan mo? Big po. Big po. Ano mo si Fernando po?
Tito Vic and Joey.
Mahirap ikwento, Vicky. Mahabang istorya.
At marami pang artista na kinagigiliwan noon magpahanggang ngayon. Cine Throwback. Tuwing linggo, alas 12 ng tanghali sa Net 25.
Let's get together. Sunday 25.
Mga kauno, ready na ba kayo sa panibagong season ng tawanan at kulitan? Mga bagong celebrities, ready na sumali sa pang-playtime sa Prank Punchaba. Papa P, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagpapasaya sa kanyang mga prank challenges. Abangan din ang mga bagong prank character na manggugulat sa inyo.
Tatama niyo po, preso.
At mga star kada, join na rin sa pagkikipagkulitan. All that and more sa new season ng pinakamakulit at pinakamasayang prank show sa balat ng telebisyon. Kasama ang nag-iisang prank master. Ako yun, Joey De Leon. Oh no, it's B.O. You're only tuwing Sabado alas 8 ng gabi sa Net 25.
Let's get together. Sunday 25. Sunday 25.
Now, let's come to this fun segment. Bibigyan kita ng mga emojis. Then we will show you a picture sa screen. Tapos mag-react ka by showing kung ano yung reaction mo. Pwede kang magdagdag. Kung anong gusto mong komentaryo dyan. Or pwede mong gamitin lahat yan.
Okay.
First picture.
Oh no.
Presidente Duterte. Anong emoji mo dyan?
Anong emoji ko dito?
Pwede mo lahat yan.
Isa nga, isa-isa. 1.
Bakit? Ano yan?
2. Ito, galit. Galit ba ako? At tapos ito, napapaiyak. Malungkot. Tapos naman, wait. Ito, ano to? Wow! Parang, well, what I think is like some mixed emotions.
Okay.
In the sense that, you know, he could have, well, he was like, basically, we survived the 6 years of Digong, and there were lots of controversies and all that. So, and they did also a lot of good things as well. So, ganyan, I'm balancing it out. Basta, gano'n.
Kung pagkain siya, anong pwede mong i-relate sa kanya sa pagkain? Palagay ko rice.
Rice. Kasi you can do without rice. I cannot do rice.
Oh, sige.
Rice, oh.
Anyway, second picture natin. Oh, yan.
Nako.
Another president yan.
Kaibigan pa ng tatay ko.
Oo.
Ito, nakakagulat. The way he...
Bakit?
The way he won the majority of the literally a landslide nga, no? He has a good start. I hope he will like just continue that. Meaning with a clean slate. Ang dami kasing baggage, di ba? I think that was the main problem.
Yeah.
Ang daming baggage from the
past.
From the past. He had to overcome that. He has to overcome that and start from...
Eh kung pagkain siya, ano siya?
Hindi ko alam, fusion food. Kasi halo-halo na yung ano niya eh. Wala siyang specific dish that I will relate. But maybe the cooking trend, yung fusion.
Parang chop suey pala.
In a way, chop suey, a little of this, a little of that, and you still don't know what it is.
Okay.
Yun.
Sige.
That's my description.
All right, next picture.
Anthony Bourdain.
Ano?
Ako.
Emoji.
Emoji as in wow, as in like this. Ito rin. Talagang, if I were to describe him from my experience from like 2 interviews, he is the authentic man, the same way you marketed Digong during the campaign. The authentic man. You see what you get what you see. Para bang he is what he is, no? To give you an example, one example lang why I call him no pretensions, no walang aire, walang kayabangan, walang ano. When we were eating that piapaitan in that goat shack. So, Cloud, what's next? Sabi niya ganon. Well, this is like basically a sour soup made of the goat's innards with the bile added. Alam mo yung reaction niya? Without saying a word, ha? On cam. Namula, bigla. Cloud, from your description, I'm even scared to try it. Sabi niya gano'n. Nung hinapag na yung bowl na gano'n, so how do we attack this? Well, you can put some more calamansi if you want, and the chilies. Alam mo yung isang platitong chili na chop na gano'n, linagay lahat. Siguro in the fear of... Tapos, unang spoonful, man, this is good. Sabi niya gano'n, ha? Man, this is good. Kinuwento na niya yung why that. Because he had a bad experience somewhere in Laos or Myanmar. Not like he was fed a bile soup, but it was so bad, sabi niya, and I wanted to puke. It's like, out of, talagang gano'n. But this was good. So, tapos, yung segment na yon, off-cam, you know what he did? He got the bowl, and ginanon niya.
Talaga?
I mean, talagang para sa akin, he would say the way it is, no? Kung talagang gusto niya, kung ayaw.
Eh kung food siya, ano siya?
Ako, fried chicken. Favorite ng Pinoy. It's a wholesome thing. You can have it every day, hindi ka magsasawa, hindi ka ano. Yeah, he's such a raconteur, conversationalist. He can pick your brain and all that.
Yeah, next picture.
Next picture.
Ayan.
Biden?
Biden.
I think he deserved.
Yung emoji, wala
emoji.
May
Yeah, like this. Like
thumbs
this.
up.
Yeah, thumbs up. I mean, it's quite a... yung predecessor niya, without mentioning names, no? If I may say so. I mean, not Biden. I'm going to describe Biden going back to his predecessor. Not him directly, but it will speak of who he is now, no?
Kung food siya.
Ha?
Kung food siya, ano siya?
Kung food siya, wait, so ganito na. Kung food siya, American ice cream, no? Para bang, hindi, para bang, no, wholesome.
Cream,
Again, wholesome.
Wholesome, ha?
Yeah, wholesome na decade, not decade, but, para sa akin, ano siya, sige, ice cream.
Oh, yan.
GMA, may kabalen.
Kabalen mo.
Naku, kilala ko niyan personally. Again, mix.
Meron diyang caring,
yeah,
may
caring,
love.
ganyan. Kind of sad.
Bakit may sad?
Yeah, I'm sad that she could have done a lot of things. Para bang the legacy she could have had. She could have made more. I mean, a lot more than what she did no, kwan.
If she's a food, what is it?
Nako, yung ganun na, no, yung small but terrible.
Small but terrible.
Kamyas na maasim, na talagang gano'n, no?
Ganon?
Talagang power, I mean, tingnan mo yung ka-powerful nung kamyas. That, yung isang pirasong kamyas na yun, he could flavor a bowl of soup na aasim yun. So, small but terrible.
Okay ka mag-describe, yung next picture.
Aling Lusing, the sisig queen. Yan, matuwa, busog, masaya yung tiyan.
Okay. Eh, kung food siya, ano
kung
siya?
food, di sisig.
Sisig talaga.
Yun na nga siya. Siya yung sisig queen na
Sino
nga.
next, anong picture natin? Sinusunod?
Siya. Daddy Dasa.
Si Sandy.
Yeah, ano ko yan body ko yan So, ganyan. Tapos ganun pa.
Kung
Tapos
pagkain siya.
Kung pagkain siya, wholesome na is a big robust kind of salad and pasta.
Pinaghalo salad at pasta.
Yeah, kasi yun ang mga niluluto niya na napakadaling gawin, gayahin sa bahay. At the same time, napakasarap. Magaling siya.
Okay.
As a teacher and a restaurateur.
Next picture.
That's my father.
Your father, Katoks. Renato Katoks.
Yeah, na-mention ko na kanina yan. Siyempre, tatay ko yan Ano bang kuwan ko? So ito, of course, tatay ko yan. So, kung pagkain siya, alam mo, lumalaki kami, the food around our table was what he liked.
What?
Yung pang-araw-araw.
Ano nga?
Meron kaming kilain. Yung kilain na yun, it's like a pork adobo with atay and the liver and the lungs. And then, buro, hito, mustasa. Everyday food. Ganun ang kanya, very unpretentious. He didn't like foreign...
So kung pagkain siya, ano siya?
Yun na nga siya, yung mga pagkain na yung kapampangan na dishes.
Kung ikaw naman, ano ka kung pagkain ka?
Smorgasbord. Buffet.
Smorgasbord.
A little of everything.
Sige, yung susunod. Na picture.
Ayan, sino yan?
Ako yan
wait, dali. Ano ba to? Mapapaiyak ako minsan natatawa din ako tawasin, ganon. At the same time, ito rin, puso ba to? I love, it's a mixed emotions, like, you're the person that a lot of Filipinos love to hate. No, because they don't know you. But once they get to know you, you're an acquired taste, like buro. Medyo maraming hindi nakakagusto sa buro. Pero yung mahilig naman kumain ng buro, they love it. They cannot do without it.
Ano ba buro?
Yung fermented rice with shrimps or fish, yung kinakain namin with mustasa, the one I mentioned earlier that my father ate every day, parang matas lang yung uric acid nun. So the thing is, buro ka. It's like you're an acquired taste.
Anyway, utang yung libro mo.
You're a good person. Yeah. Kalimutan na yung libro.
Pwede bang...
Okay. Ito. So, basically, this is it's not a recipe book per se. There are recipes in it. This book establishes, one, adobo is a cooking technique. It's not a dish. Number two, adobo is not the national dish. Because even Jose Rizal is the national hero. Do you know that? Being a lawyer, it needs promulgation by law, by Congress, to declare something into a national icon. So Rizal, according to his historian Ambeto Campo, is considered a national hero by acclamation. Popular lang.
Mas matindi yun.
Exactly. So the same way, adobo is the most popular Filipino cooking technique. Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, yun.
Thank you so much, Cloud Tayag.
Ginutom ka, nabusog ka sa mga kwento.
Busog na busog.
Busog na busog.
Salamat sa pagpapaunlak mo sa invitasyon.
Yes.
It's such a pleasure and fun having you here as our guest.
Pwedeng maulit, I'm telling you already.
And please give my warmest regards to Susan nga pala.
Susan nga pala. Sige.
Bakit ka tumawa?
Hindi, ewan ko. Baka si Susan. Si Susan nga pala.
Nga pala, asawa nga pala si Mary.
Si Mary. Si Susan.
Ba't mo inaano yung pa ako? Anyway, thank you so much. Magbabalik po ang Counterpoint.
challenge ang inyong Star Kada. Very challenging siya for us.
May kailangan kang sundin na tema eh.
Kembot dito, indak doon, sway ng todo ang bawat grupo.
Matututo rin sila dyan ng stage presence nila.
Mula rehearsals hanggang dulo, sino kaya ang best dance crew?
Battle to, guys.
Magkakaalaman sa harap sa dance mentor at judges.
So, are you ready to shine on the dance floor?
Abangan nyo yan dito lang sa
One Goal, One Dream!
Road to Star Kada, Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. sa Net 25. See you mga ka-Star Kada!
Get together sa Net 25. Sa Net 25.
Filipinos are great marketers. Our range is limitless from gigantic corporations to the everyday street vendor. We Filipinos are able to find a way to make our products and services interesting. That is despite economic obstacles, lack of resources, and minimal connections. The drive to grow the business is always strong and going forward.
Open for Business takes you to the 42nd Agora Awards, celebrating Filipino marketing excellence, spearheaded by the Philippine Marketing Association, with the theme Speckles, celebrating outstanding uniqueness in Philippine marketing.
Together, we will speak with industry leaders, award-winning marketers, and the rising stars in businesses.
Open for Business with Cesar Vallejos, Sunday, 9 p.m.
Sa Net 25.
In the history of our country, since the inception of the Republic, no sweeping and far-reaching initiative has been made by any of the administrations that held court in the corridors of power to make education its centerpiece. Education, it is said, is the great leveler of society. Acquisition of it makes the poorest of the poor stands equal with the richest of the rich. One who is equipped with it can pierce any social barrier. It is the tool that cloths the possessor with the intellectual armory to face demagogues and bigots, and the courage to accept challenges from cerebral pretenders clothed with hypocrisy. It is the engine that propels one to reach great heights of intellectual development financial glory, and spiritual uplifting. Uneducated citizenry elects equally educated, competent, and honest public officials, and reject buffoons, scoundrels, incompetent, and the corrupt. Uneducated population is the foundation of a country's growth and development. An uneducated citizenry constituting a majority causes a perennial state of disarray in a society. The protection and the promotion of the right of all citizens to not just education, but to quality education is guaranteed by our Constitution. And we can find this, and I will quote it. It says, "The state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all." The other provision says, "The highest budgetary priority for education is mandated by the Constitution." Specifically, the wording of the Constitution is, "The state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education, and to ensure that teaching will attract and retain its rightful share of the best available talents through adequate remuneration and other means of job satisfaction and fulfillment." Sadly, those constitutional commands have been honored more in their breach than in obedience and observance. No wonder our country has yet to attain the level of growth and development that our Asian neighboring countries have already achieved in such a short time. In an official event sometime in the first week of February, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Vice President and concurrent Education Secretary Inday Sara Duterte both admitted the failure of our educational system. And this admission that our system of education is a failure by the two highest officials of the land, no less, is a welcome development and a fresh wind that permeates the air of constant crisis in education. Another day is about to end. Here is food for your thought from Oscar Wilde. After one good dinner, one can forgive anybody, even one's own relatives. Join me again next week as we engage with some of the country's most interesting, influential, and controversial personalities. I am Salvador Panelo, and this is Counterpoint.